Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We are gonna watch another movie. Last time around, it was Flags of Our Fathers, and this time it is Letters from Iwo Jima. So, yeah, still directed by Clint Eastwood, and they are kind of, inseparable, those two movies. And a lot of you have been saying that this one is the superior of the two movies. So yeah, we're just looking very much forward to getting into it and seeing things from the Japanese perspective compared to when we were watching both Flags of Our Fathers and also the Pacific. So like we've been spending a lot of time on the American side. So this is going to be something quite different. But before we jump into the movie, so to say, you have a few things you want to...
No, just again, I'll repeat myself and say a comment to the comments. It's great with all the comments. I feel like I have a lot of guys searching stuff that I want to see. So you're helping me out on the internet. Thank you so much for that. And one of the things you mentioned was the old John Wayne movie. Maybe that could be something we can look at in the future. Some of the old movies and do a reaction or commentary to those, because those I haven't seen. Make a comment on that in the commentary, and also you come up with a lot of movies that I have already seen. So
yeah, both of us actually,
yeah.
And a lot of good movies. It's not that we don't want to watch them. That's not why we're not responding or anything like that. It's just most of the movies that you've told us to watch in the comments, we've already seen. So not much of a reaction there. We could maybe do some commentary stuff.
Do a commentary and then show. Let us know in the comments if you want us to do that, because we can do that with the more modern movies, or we can go out and find the more rare ones. But then again, let us know.
Exactly. Just keep suggesting stuff in the comments. That's great.
Also, you mentioned where the flags are at. Only one flag on display at the time, as I could read, but that'll just give me an excuse to do a sunny dad trip to the States, or a couple of trips like that.
When that is allowed, once again, at some point.
This Corona COVID stuff blows away. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Also, there was someone who asked, what's the best Danish movies? And Al Orange answered that one for me spot on. So thank you for that as well. All in all, I just want to say I am reading the comments, and I enjoy all the comments that you make. And I do follow up on the stuff that you find for me. So thank you very much again.
Yes, it's still every time that we put out a video with me and Major Dad and talking about World War II stuff, that's the stuff that we've been dealing with so far, and looking at all your comments and what you're saying about our commentaries on what we're watching and the things that you're suggesting. It's just, it's always very nice to scroll down through the comments and see all the things that you're telling us, and the stories as well from both relatives and maybe some personal stories in there. It's just, keep them coming. We're really enjoying it. But with all that out of the way, I think we are ready to jump into Letters from Iwo Jima, unless you have anything else.
No, I'm looking forward to this one.
All right, then let's do it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions, where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode I was about to say. That's what I usually say, but in this case, it's a movie. So if you go to our Patreon page, then you can watch the entire movie with us instead of just the highlight version, where it's like 10 or 15 minutes of footage. So go check out our Patreon page. The link is down in the description below. And let's go. And we've already seen all of this, like the scenery, at least. Exact same location, obviously, from Flags of Our Fathers.
Do you think it's like this today? Or I think it's like this today.
Yeah.
A lot of old guns and stuff like that.
Yeah. Half blown up pillboxes.
That's what I've been looking forward to, looking at all these caves and tunnels and stuff like that. It's amazing hand-dug tunnels.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that sentiment. Like, how did they ever do this?
That was a nice cut over.
Yeah, nice transition, yeah.
本日付で私は自分の兵が待つ任地へと向かう。国のため忠義を尽くし、
Ken Watanabe, I think his name is. Maybe don't.
Maybe give him a hint. Yamamoto was shut down
Oh, okay.
because they caught a chance to get him in flight.
Mm.
I think you automatically will look tired after a few weeks on that island.
Yeah. Oh. So this is where they, and he's the guy responsible for them not being on the beach when the Americans arrived then. So they also have that sort of internal rivalry between the Navy and
units,
and the soldiers, and
it's a natural way to sort of build up your own unit. It's like, well, look at the other guys; they look like idiots. Don't look like idiots and stuff like that.
We're the most capable.
Yeah. Your unit's the best unit ever.
You need to...
Until the enemy lands, they'll work separately.
No! I know. I kind of like him.
Yeah.
They don't.
Oh yeah, he's an admiral in the old ones.
Oh, okay.
Army, so yeah.
And that's why he's like, why aren't you guys
coordinating it?
Yeah. It's from the censorship office, so yeah, he's used to looking through people's stuff. I also have the feeling like he's doing him a favor.
Actually, I think he is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't get there.
Yeah, you don't want anyone else opening this letter and being like, nope, cannot send this. That seems like a good decision. Evacuate the civilians.
Yeah.
Though I know that's not what they did all the time.
No.
On all the islands. Yeah. We saw that during the Pacific.
Yeah, and as we talked about, there are good guys and bad guys on both sides.
Of course, yeah. He's doing a lot of walking.
Well, this is where he comes up with the idea to make kill zones and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
オリンピックの馬術で金メダルを取んだ西中佐って方だ。戦車第26連隊の連隊長で西中佐は男前だから女ったらしの噂が。
Probably just there to give them morale a boost. I don't know if his horse riding can really come in handy combat-wise.
Probably not. And maybe not exactly the kind of morale booster you need.
Yeah.
One who loves himself.
Yeah. There's a narcissistic horse jumper.
Yeah.
小沢提督の空母艦載機は大本営は国民だけでなく我らも欺くつもりなのか。最も賢明な措置はこの島を海の底に沈めてしまうことだと思い
Sink
ます。
the island. Brilliant plan. He was annoyed of being told that he didn't have the right information.
Mm.
As a general, you should have, I think.
Definitely.
でも見てみろあの銃。北大戦。
Wow.
あれ死んだアメリカ兵が奪ったのかもな。
俺だ。わかりました。ありがとうございます。はい。
The general is always having a hard day at work. running up and down the beach.
Probably not what he expected.
俺も東京だ。どこだ？広報勤務要員養成所です。
And that is...
Yeah. Which is
なんで俺たちの部隊に憲兵隊を組んだ？
知らねえよ。
a Kempetai.
Yeah, like a secret police thing.
砂糖が手に入った頃はアンパンとかカステラとか作って売ってた。
Back when you could still get sugar?
One thing, soldiers, once in the field, they'll start talking about food,
Yeah.
cakes.
All the things you can't have at the moment.
おめでとうございます。招集令
Congratulations.
You've been drafted.
Yeah.
送りのため精一杯ご奉公してまいります。
I think you need some training in front of the mirror.
昇級を
誰も帰ってこないでよ。一人もだよ。
Damn.
It's interesting to see the kind of honor code there is. Congratulations, you've been drafted. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
And they all know it as well. Like this is what we're supposed to be doing, and we're supposed to be saying congratulations, and you should be saying thank you, and I'm honored, and can't be complaining. This is not the place, not the time. Yeah. Gonna be hiding the tanks?
No, they're digging them in. They couldn't. They didn't get the spare parts for them,
And they're at least
so it's a sort of
just a big cannon.
pillbox.
軍人としての誇りが少しでも残っているのは頼む大本営に速やかに支援部隊を送りを進言してほしい
Was that a nice way of getting rid of him, or
I think he like honestly he's like, yeah, we do need the support.
but at the same time, get off my island?
Yeah, exactly.
だが我々にも大きな利点が一つある。それがなんだかわかるか？
The terrain.
米兵は意志が弱く、日本兵に劣るところであります。その通りだ、清水。
Oh.
敵の衛星への制服だ。横方で。
Ah.
こいつらを狙い。
As we talked about.
Yeah. We've already discussed what they thought of the
It
Americans.
still annoys me when I see it. That people think like that.
Yeah, but it goes both ways, as we talked about. What's going on?
Air raid or airplanes coming in. So
Oh, yeah. Damn. Well, that escalated quickly.
well, it will teach them to keep stuff in the tunnels.
Yeah, not out in the open. Whoa. Taking care of the airfield. Yes, of course. Oh no, the horse. Yeah, that was bound to happen.
Dead bodies left and right, and you go, oh, the horse.
No, but it was
Fine.
because we got his reaction.
Yeah, fine.
You know.
そんなとこで座ってちょっとお前手伝
Oh, he did. Oh, he did.
米国艦隊がサイパンを出ました
Hmm.
総員配置につけ
Yep.
It's a good short view of the scale of this.
It really is, and I'm really enjoying seeing it from the other perspective now, and just the feeling you get at watching the American ships coming now is very different from the feeling when you saw almost
you
the
were
same
with them,
shot,
yeah.
and you were with them in Flags of Our Fathers, yeah.
再び祖国の地を踏めることなき者と覚悟せよ
That's very honest.
世は常に
I read that somewhere as well.
Hmm.
That you should all take at least 10 American soldiers
Yeah,
and do not expect.
to survive.
天皇陛下第
Long live the Empire, I was about to say, but yeah, the Emperor.
Well, it's not a happy bunch.
No.
On the other hand,
Their general
How
did
would
just tell them that you're most likely gonna die here.
Yeah.
But before you die, you're gonna have to kill a lot of people. So just all in all, yeah. I wouldn't be smiling either.
what's the story with that belt?
Sort of cultural thing, maybe spiritual protection. Yeah. All this talk about sinking the island.
Yeah. If they could, they would have.
Yeah. Damn it. Not it. Yeah. Oh, it's steaming. Oh no.
Yeah. That's why you don't walk with it up in front of you.
No. Why would you go like this? It's just gonna hit you straight in the face. Oh, and now he's gonna see that. Yep. Yeah, he's not having the best of luck. Get inside. Oh! Yep, now someone is looking out for you, apparently.
Yeah, I take it back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We had a similar scene in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, that's right. Hold your fire.
Mm-hmm.
Again, seeing that from the other side.
It's very different. I'm wondering now if we actually saw some of the same people in Flags of Our Fathers and we just didn't recognize them. I think we actually saw that shot, that exact shot.
Yeah.
Many of the same, yeah. And there comes, yeah.
Oh,
Damn. He's done for it, yeah. That's, you can't. Lost way too much blood.
use your gun. Not on me.
Yeah. What are you doing? Those are some impressive tunnels, though.
Yeah.
Like, they did a lot of work. Keep fighting, don't kill yourself. He's gonna disobey his general?
He's thinking old school, as we talked about in the beginning of the Pacific. They were kind of schooled to suicide attack. That's the end goal.
Yeah. It's an honor thing. At least what he was saying. Let me die with my honor and the honor of my men.
It's amazing that you can get people to do that.
Yeah. The name of country or God or yeah, whatever it is. Jesus fuck. How is that any better? Like, you're not even taking any enemies with you. Oh, and he chose a pistol instead. Yeah. I thought maybe he was gonna wait for the other ones to do it, and then because no, fuck this. I'm not doing it. No, those.
て戦い続けることとどっちが陛下の御ためになる？
That's an easy question if you ask me.
Yep.
Easy answer. Whoa! Those fucking flamethrowers and grenades. Get the fuck out. Oh no!
It's an American soldier.
Is that... what was his name? No.
No, that's the one they adopted.
Yeah, that's right.
Adopted.
And I could see it wasn't the same guy.
No, that's not cowardice. That's smart.
Mm. Maybe don't draw a sword that can...
Draw a sword and shout.
Yeah.
Not the right way to sneak around.
Thinking especially with the sword, like if the light hits it, and it'll bounce off and... Yeah, nah. So you'd rather just chop the heads off two of your troops than having them there to actually help you. Thank you.
And there's the flag.
Oh yeah, there it is. You're
That's
right.
why I said Sir Roger's form.
Yeah, they can see it has been taken. Hmm?
栗林閣下は洞窟で待機するようにと。栗林閣下は腰抜けでアメリカの腰巾着だと伊藤忠へ言っておられる。
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to win anything if you're not working together? Take back the... How... With...
Oh, what? Yeah.
With like 20 men? Oh, okay, there's more, but still not nearly enough.
And you can see the Americans are very well prepared for
Yeah, they were
attacks and stuff
just
like that. So,
sitting there waiting, pretty much. As soon as they started running, and then the Americans, they were just like, "Yep, we are ready for you."
それは上官に対する反逆だ。そのために兵士が無駄死にしているのがわからんのか。すぐに持ち場に帰るか。でなければ貴様の部隊は私が引き継がせ。
I don't remember his name, but the horse guy. I'm actually surprised that he's
The heels like that, yeah.
yeah, seems like a good officer actually.
Yeah.
奴らのおもちゃを道連れにしてやる。
So he wants to go kill himself.
Okay.
And I think those guys...
Yeah, just
Okay. Yeah. Good luck,
back
man.
up, back it up, back it up, guys, back it up. You go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
Take out a tank if he's even gonna get that far.
戦局ここに至りては友軍を硫黄島に派遣すること困難極まれり小笠原兵団は最後まで完闘し悠久の大義に行くべし。
It's a fancy way of saying you guys are fucked. He's still going. What's the plan here?
Lie down, look like a dead guy.
And then wait for them to get close.
Yeah.
Damn! That's a big missile. Bring him in? Why?
だったら負傷した日本兵の手当てなどしません。
若造、お前はアメリカ人に会ったことがあるのか。手当てしろ。
Again, as talked about, good guys and bad guys are on both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
But in general, I think...
They didn't do that.
No.
その女の戦士はどこ行った？これは怖い。
Getting impatient there?
Well, I think he kind of lost some of his marbles along the way. So.
Yeah.
Oklahoma is where I'm from. Takeichi. Sam.
Interesting.
憲兵隊クビになったからだ。
Hmm.
So now we get to see why he was thrown out, probably.
Yeah. Probably refused to do something semi-horrible. Aww. Cute dog. Excuse me? Okay, yeah. We were pretty spot on, yeah.
And he's not gonna shoot the dog.
No.
And that's probably why it's gonna be thrown out.
Yeah. That's what I mean with, yeah. Not wanting to do something horrible. How can you ever? That poor creature. Yeah, you're right. Keep
And
quiet.
it's gonna bark.
Yeah. He's just hoping it's not gonna. Yeah, there it was. Now the dog is gonna die anyway.
敵以外から恨まれることはね。
犬が悪いんじゃない。
Yeah, why would you blame the dog in the first place?
It's 1911, Gold 45.
So now we got the story about the gun.
So much nicer when people get along.
I'd have to follow my convictions. You mean you'd have to follow your convictions or your country's convictions? Are they not the same? Spoken like a true soldier.
It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah. Good point.
正義を貫けばそれは正義になる。戦争が一日も早く終わりあなたが無事に戻ってきますように母より。
That kind of humanizes the American soldier, and that's not what they've been told.
Nope. They used the last on Sam.
He's
The
still
fuck?
waiting.
He's still there?
Still waiting for a tank. Well, at least he had a good long nap. Probably.
I guess.
そして正しいと思う道を行ってくれ。それが己の正義なんだ。はいはい。
I like that he took that inspiration from that letter. Whoa.
Yeah, they're worn out. Don't want to do this anymore.
Hmm.
戦争もたくさんだ。
It wasn't gonna be that easy.
Well, the other guy wants to join.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
何が驚いただけかも。
Which one of them? Is it what's his name? Shimizu? It was.
Come on. Yeah, we can take him back to the beach. You kidding?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I kind of expect him to show the atrocity from the other side.
Hmm.
Kind of expected that. So
Straight into a lot of machine gun fire. Oh.
that's also from.
Yeah,
The
we
other
saw
side,
we
yeah.
saw it from the other side. Yeah.
And he seemed like determined to go kill the Americans. But seeing it from this side, it was like
He's trying to protect his own men, making sure that they could make it.
Yeah.
いや、すり鉢山からだったかな。随分大変な道がだったろ。
If you could call it that, yeah.
死んだもんだな。家族のために死ぬまでここで戦い抜くと誓ったら家族がいるから死ぬことをためらう自分も。
There's a nice perspective to it. Fight to the death for your family, but that's why I want to live.
Yeah.
The fate of our country lies in the hands of Iwo Jima.
Must be pretty surreal to listen to right now.
Yeah.
この書類すべてと私の軍用交流を燃やしてほしい。二度あることは様々あるな。
Do that, you might live.
Exactly. Saved his life for the third time.
世は常に諸子の先頭にある。
Marks himself with a white X and goes out in front.
Yeah.
Oh, that was from the beginning of Duck Down Papers and stuff.
Yes. So they found all the... Oh, that fucking guy! He actually survived.
Yeah.
One guy who went out
Trying
the
to
sole
kill-
purpose, just to...
He wants him to decapitate him.
Yeah. Give him the honorable death. Kind of expecting that.
ここはまだ日本か。日本であります。
That's also a way to do it.
Crazy!
Still alive.
Yeah. Just knocked him out. Letters from Iwo Jima.
Makes kind of sense.
Yeah. Watch out! I get the symbolism behind the imagery
That
there,
was-
but don't drop them on the floor. They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do that.
No.
Archaeologists wouldn't do that. So
No.
that was.
Oh, interesting.
That sea was in this tomb. Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. But it's a nice image of it, though.
Yeah.
That is
The
from Iwo
voices
Jima,
and,
yeah.
and
That was it.
a nice ending to it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more focus on the actual island of Iwo Jima and everything that went down there.
Quite another pace to this movie, but still a very good movie. Or I understand why people say it's a very good movie
Mhm.
because there's so many issues, so many stuff that was brought to light, looking at from the Japanese side. So I really enjoyed that. So
Same here, and seeing some of the same things that we saw in Flags of Our Fathers, and
Yeah.
then seeing pretty much the exact same scenes playing out in this movie, just from the other perspective. And we made some comments about it during our reaction there, that it gave the that particular scene or that particular event, it just gave it a whole new
perspective.
yeah, and a whole new identity, or it changed it.
And I like this way of sort of seeing it from both sides.
Mhm.
I think it was good that we took the first one with the Flags of Our Fathers and then those from Iwo Jima in that order.
Yeah,
So it kind of made sense that way around. And also they got the whole perspective of having a change of command on the island. On the Japanese side, that was more or less an imperial order to take command, and he was actually sent there more or less knowing that he's not going to come back. He's supposed to fight on that island until the end. So he was more or less expecting that from the get-go, at least so it says in the history books.
Mhm.
But it was nice to see that they have the same issues. Still young soldiers,
Definitely.
having same kind of issues with being told to do whatever they are supposed to do as soldiers, and there's of course the whole cultural thing of being brought up in a society where you are gonna die for your country or your emperor. So
Yeah. Of
and
course, there are the cultural differences,
yeah.
as you're saying, but also many similarities, and good and bad people on both sides, good and bad officers, generals, admirals, what have you. And that was very apparent in this one as well. And something that I really didn't know that much about was exactly, what went down on the Japanese side of it, the orders that were given. And I certainly didn't know that there were so many conflicting orders and ideals, almost, and ideas about how we should be doing this. And no, we should be just committing suicide because that's the most honorable thing to do. No, you should retreat and then hook up and keep fighting. And it's just the ways of doing it. It seems like they didn't really agree on it.
Culturally, and on the officer school in the beginning, they were told to do the Banzai attack or the go sacrifice yourself attack, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But over time, they found out that it doesn't work very well with machine guns. So they were kind of changing the tactics, but some of the officers still had that mindset. So
Yeah.
they wanted to do that. And once it got to a certain point, they'll go, okay, we'll sacrifice ourselves for the emperor.
Yeah.
And the whole setup in the beginning where the new commander arrives and sort of appreciates the situation and decides to change the way that they're going to defend the island. That whole scene set up, old officers meeting new officer. He went to the States, had some training there, so he had another perspective to things. So they were kind of on a learning curve as well in the Japanese army, fighting the Americans. And this guy comes along and he's actually been over there and knows how they think and the mindset, and knows that we can defend the beach, but then we'll just die on the beach. Or we'll let them come up on the beach and then take care of them and try to hold this island as long as possible by setting up kill zones and stuff like that. Because he knew that once the Americans got into the war, they would produce more than enough
weapons,
ships, whatever. So he was aware of that. So he said, well, I can try to hold as long as I possibly can by setting up a very good defense on the island. But
yeah, exactly. But as you said, like he had been to the US and he knew about their customs and ways and how much they could produce. Like that, as you said, that was something that he was that he mentioned a few times. And we can't fight that. And he also, like, he was expecting, it seems like he and maybe others were expecting for there to be some more support coming from the mainland, from the sea and from the air, but none of that ever came, and they lost the majority of their fleet and everything. So just, they were never going to be able to compete with the US on that front. So he did whatever he could to, like, draw them in and, as you said, use the kill zones and use the terrain and the pillboxes and changing up the tactics, even though
they changed to a war of attrition. So they want to wear down the Americans and on the island. They'll keep on sending ships and stuff down. They'll wear them down until the point where they'll go, it's not worth it, and sail around it or something like that. That was the mindset behind it.
But quite the opposite then kind of happened, and the Japanese got worn down on the island. It seems
they
just got
killed.
Pretty much destroyed. And that was a lot of tough stuff to watch and witness in this one, and from that side of things.
They also got the point into there that in the beginning the Japanese thought of the Americans as savages and not very good soldiers and all that. That was changing over time. It got in there as well that some of the Japanese soldiers looked at them and said, well, I thought they were savages and not good soldiers, and it turns out they're quite capable. So the whole shift in the mindset was also in this movie. It happened over a long period of time, but it might have been set on that island as well.
And that's what I meant with this being a tough watch, is seeing some of that stuff, the cultural things, and the realization from the Japanese perspective that is what I'm doing, is that really beneficial to my homeland, to my people, to my country, and what about the people that I'm here with, those that wanted to sacrifice themselves and those who wanted to surrender. No, you can't do that. That's not patriotic, or that's. And how do you decide what's the right thing to do, and do you do it for your family as well? And there are just so many themes in there that I really like.
Very small, tiny nuggets of good things or bad things or whatever.
Yeah, it's just
all over the movie.
Interesting to think about, at least, and it's just interesting to look back on, and especially when you consider different cultures and people growing up with like different ideas about how they should live a good life or be patriotic and honorable, and I just find that very interesting, because of course it depends on it's all subjective, but
and they managed to flip it around with the Japanese officer taking an American soldier and treat him, and flip it the other way around, and the American soldiers killing Japanese prisoners.
Exactly, to show us once again that yes, good and bad people on both sides, and you can't just make it black and white and say the Japanese are act like they're this way, and then the Americans, they are in another way. Like, of course, you can use
the other way around as well, with the Japanese killing American soldiers.
They showed us that as well.
And at the end, the Americans treating prisoners
exactly,
well.
So even though he attacked them with a fucking shovel, and I was very afraid for him at that point. I was like, okay, now they're gonna shoot him, because we just saw 2 American soldiers earlier shooting Japanese prisoners because they didn't want the hassle of like dragging them along, but here in this situation, like
they did the right thing. So
they did the right thing and just knocked him out and then treated him. And then as you said, with the American soldier Sam, remember his name, that pulled him in and talked to him, and then even that thing with his letter, reading that out loud, and how all the soldiers there, they were like, well, I kind of recognize that's how I would talk with, or that's
do the right thing.
Yeah, so, exactly. That's what my mom would tell me as well, and especially with Shimizu, I think that was his name, and he's unfortunately the one who got shot, or one of the ones who got
killed by the Americans.
By the Americans there. That was really fucking sad, and especially coupled with how he ended up there, and by refusing to kill a poor innocent dog that was just barking, and then he ends up there, and he wants to surrender because he finally gets like the courage to do so, and no, I'm not like the Americans, they're not these savages, they're not going to kill me, and then that happens, and it's just so
there's a lot bad of that luck. So much of as I said, small nuggets of good bad things happen together, things to think about, and it'll all put into the movie, like here and there, and getting humanized and dehumanized along the way. So it's all in there, and I understand why people say this is a more deep movie.
It really shows the humanity and of war, and like how horrible it can be, how war is hell, but also how people can save each other during war, and
from a military perspective, it's you have to think about that all this stuff goes up around in the mind of your soldiers as well, and you have to plan accordingly. We have the Geneva Convention and stuff like that, so you should always behave correctly. But again, remember, you're there to win the war or the battle, so you have to consider then that the young guys are fighting with stuff like that in their head. They're thinking about what's right, what's wrong, and how you're gonna motivate them to do what's needed to be done. That's why you have to lead them, you have to train them, all that. So it was put in there as well, but also with the cultural aspect to it, and the cultural aspect of someone been to the States, coming back there, trying to take another approach to things that, well, you can surrender, or you can withdraw and come back here so we can live to fight another day and stuff like that. So there's so many small angles to it in the movie, and also there was the whole. The general wasn't told that Kurabashi wasn't told that the navy was more or less shot to pieces.
Oh yeah. That was like new information to him
Marianas
when he
or
got there.
Ladybird,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was brilliant that you have the propaganda thing. If you think about Germany, at the end they didn't really share the information needed to the generals or even Hitler. They didn't dare to tell him about that. Well, the army corps that you're talking about is gone. It's not here anymore. So at the end, with the turmoil as well, and because of the situation, you try to do with the propaganda and say we're doing so well at this place here, and they forgot to tell the general about it, so he can't plan his war accordingly and so on.
Yeah. Like, and even with that song we got from the children from his hometown, and that was basically propaganda, just putting it out there, and yes, this is for the people on Iwo Jima, and you're doing a great service to our country, to our homeland, and keeping us safe, and yeah, a song about Iwo Jima, and then just after he pretty much told his men that yeah, we're not gonna make it out of here, and even the homeland or the high ups, they were like, no, we're not gonna send you any reinforcements, we're not gonna do any, like, they need to be here and protect the homeland.
Yeah.
But then in the song they're like, well, that's what they're doing, and Iwo Jima is protecting the homeland, and it's just.
Yeah, they tried to do that. I think it also took quite a while before the Japanese found out what really happened at Iwo Jima and how the fight there was.
Yeah, they probably didn't know exactly what was going on, and that they were actually losing at that point. It was just, the way that they set it up narratively in the movie. And
but then again, if you're in a country and you're kind of losing, you don't want to tell your people. I mean, then they'll just give up. So you'll try to keep the spirit up, but by lying a bit, and then lying a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and
we can still do it. We can still do it. We can still do it.
At the end, when the enemy is knocking on the door, you'll go, "Oh, okay." It's like in the in Iraqi war with the what was he called? Propaganda guy going, yeah, we're doing great. The Iraqi forces are winning, and the U.S. tank was driving right behind him. It's like,
oh, okay,
he was still trying to keep up appearances. While the tanks were driving right behind him.
Exactly, and it makes sense to do that to a point.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just disillusional. Pretty much,
you look ridiculous when you try to do stuff like that.
Yeah, so. Delusional.
Yeah, but all in all, a very good movie. I enjoyed that very much, and I'm gonna look a little bit more into that afterwards. I didn't get the whole belt thing.
I think that's more of a cultural thing, and it's keeping one safe or keeping one close to the family or tradition or something like that.
At the same time, you had this whole cultural thing that they're supposed to die naked or more or less naked, so you had guys running out naked, surrendering.
We didn't see much of that in this.
No, but you have pictures of it. I've seen pictures of naked Japanese guys surrender, and you'd see people running out of pillboxes and stuff like that and dropping their pants, trying to hold up their pants while running out, and then when they get shot, they drop their pants. And so there was something about being naked or more or less naked. But at the same time, you're supposed to wear something around your waist, so
that could be it, as well. And then we got the whole thing with the swords or katanas as well, which it's pretty damn badass. Like, there's something badass about it, and I do like I find that very interesting with the swords and the cultural significance to that, and the samurai culture and everything. That is also a part of that whole thing that you just mentioned, and then running at an enemy who has a gun. And
the whole samurai thing was
with a sword.
The idea behind it originally was quite good, but during the 1800 1900 it kind of changed into something that was used more or less to lure the people into another sense of honor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it got changed over time for someone who wanted that perspective to be something that they could use as a political gain and stuff like that. So
I guess that's what happens with both that and many religions as well, and belief systems, cultural things that has some significance, and yeah, it can always be twisted and used in a way that it was not originally intended.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
So,
the same
yeah.
thing with the samurai. But yeah, as you just said, amazing movie. That was really well made. Tough to watch most of the time. Like, we were really in there in the dirt on Iwo Jima for the majority of this movie, compared to Flags of Our Fathers, where we got to jump back and forth a bit more, and they kind of broke up that pacing.
I also think you can see it, and the two of us watching, a lot of the time we're just sitting there like nothing's happening, because
Yeah, I don't know how interesting this reaction is going to be, watching, because we were just almost sitting there in disbelief. We're not, laughing as much as we did with Flags of Our Fathers. Like, there's not a lot to laugh about with this one in particular. It is a very grim look at, a piece of history in a war that was pretty devastating.
Yeah, but what I do like about it is that the whole, you see it from one side, then you see it from the other side, and with the American perspective and the Japanese perspective in the filmmaking on one side or the other side, more or less. So you get a lot of cultural stuff and a lot of different angles on the same thing. I really enjoyed that part.
And they don't do the thing, or Clint Eastwood, he didn't do the thing where he lended more. Well, let me say it in this way: like, it seems like he was true to history, and he didn't pick a side, so to say. He wasn't doing this was the bad side and this was the good side, and like, it definitely wasn't black and white. And we've talked about that a lot. It's just, I want to reiterate that I really enjoyed how he just showed it from both sides, with warts and all, and how that it was really a tough battle, if you could call it that. A battle that lasted for many days.
But all in all, a very good movie, and thank you for suggesting it to us.
Yes,
I enjoyed it very much. And give us some comments on whether we should do a commentary on known movies, or we should look at some of the old movies that I haven't seen.
Or maybe we'll come up with something ourselves in the meantime. Either way, of course, I'm gonna let you guys know. Just keep an eye on the community tab for schedules and whatnot. And I think at the moment we're probably gonna keep doing this like every other week, maybe watching something, doing something, if it's a movie or if it's going to be another series. Like, as I just said, I'm going to let you know. We're also considering something that's not World War II related, history related, really that much. But it's because we're big Star Wars fans, and I was watching the Star Wars holiday special, because we're getting close to the holidays and Christmas and everything. So we might do that as just a totally different thing, just to break it up. And then return to some history and World War II stuff, or
anything between a 2.5-3 hour movie down to just a YouTube clip of a few seconds. We'll react to something.
We will consider all of it. Just leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and we'll get to it all. But that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of Letters from Iwo Jima, another amazing movie from Clint Eastwood. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.